Hi guys, it's Tim with Inflatable Office and Event Office, and I want to show you some new feature that we just released regarding tipping. So you've always been able to do tips in our system. It was kind of a difficult thing to do in some ways. We were kind of fitting it into some other features that we had available to you. You were able to add an optional field. So you'd come in and you'd set one up like something like this, where you would have make it a checkbox, and you would tie it to a fee. So you would maybe have a fee called 10% tip or something like that. So when that box was checked, it would inactivate that fee, and then you would add that into your quoting forms and in your checkout experience. So we have a much better way to do it now. And the reason we changed it was we wanted to improve it as well as make it easier. So now if you go to payment preferences, the easiest way to deal with tips is just to go to this tips section right here. And all you want to do here, as far as getting it on your checkout experience, is check these boxes. By checking those boxes, we're going to dynamically add it to your checkout experience. And I'll show you where that goes here in a second. Um, and the other thing that you'll want to do is maybe set some tip percentages, like presets. So you can see we set 3 in here. We let you set up to 5 in here, and there's also a custom box that you'll see as well. Don't worry about this stuff here on the top. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay. So here's the checkout. If we look down here at the bottom, now we see this tip option right before they go through with getting a quote, or if you name this next or whatever you want to name that in your checkout experience, you can change that name or look at the cart, whatever. So they can click 5%, they can click custom, and they can add in a certain amount that they want to tip. So that tip on the checkout experience is also, so that was on the quote request. This is a quote confirm. I'll show you what that looks like real quick. Um, what that's going to do is it's going to add it to the actual lead in the system here. So let me find something that's in our demo account here that'll work. I think this one should. So we'll view what we call the quote confirm page. I think my little face here is getting in the way. Okay, so here we go. This is after they go past this step, they get to this step right here, and when they're there, they have another option here to tip if you want to do that. Now, uh, it's up to you if you put it on this page or both pages. That's entirely up to you. You just determine what you want to do. If you put it on this page, it works the same, 5-10%. Those are the ones that you set up, and the same thing. In both of these scenarios, it goes on the lead, so it's going to show up in like a fee on this lead. Now we're taking tips right now only as tax exempt, assuming that you are going to pass these tips out to people. Those would be included either in their W-2 as tips received, or you would have them account for them themselves. So that's how we have it set up right now. Um, we're not going to be taxing that. So if you do want to keep doing the taxing for tips, you would have to stick with our option by using fees and setting up optional fields. That's one way to set them taxed. If we have enough people interested, we may start doing the tax stuff on the tips for checkout, but we would prefer not to. So I know most people don't want them taxed, so I think we're going to be okay. So that's how you do it on the checkout experience. Super simple now. It's really just marking these checkboxes. So if you do have the old system set up where you have a promotion, so you would want to go into your promotion, you would want to disable that promotion. You can disable it a number of ways. You could delete it, or you can just mark it as not valid anymore by using dates or a number of things. Um, the other thing you would want to do potentially, probably, is go to your optional fields, and you would want to turn off those optional fields. It's simple to turn off an optional field. You just mark it as off. Now that doesn't get you out of the woods yet, because we did add that in. So this is not, the old method was not dynamic. It was actually going into either the quote request or the WordPress checkout page. And so you'll have to come in here and edit this form, unfortunately. So what you can usually do is search for, oops, You can search for, and let's see if, I'm not even sure if this is going to be in here, but it's not. Let's see, maybe it is. No. So you can search for the optional field that you're looking for. So I'm going to search for something that I'm clearly going to find in here. You want to get down into the HTML. So that's not there. If you need help with this part, we can help you. But you'll find it, and what's usually going to look like is there's going to be this div, this container around the name of the optional field, and then the input, which would be probably a checkbox. And you're going to just take that section there and make sure that you see how it's indented. So we want to grab the whole container. This is the start of the container, the end of the container. And you're going to delete that out, and then you're going to save, and that's all you're going to do. That's to completely remove the old method from what you were doing. And if you need help, we're happy to help you with that. So back over here, though, I want to show you a few other things and talk about some of the major improvements we've done with tipping and things that no one else is doing here. So right here, we have, you know what, I'm going to save that for another video. So I'm going to let you go right now, and I'm going to put together another video that goes into some detail about how to use some of the new tipping stuff that we've done. And it's really cool, and no one else is doing it. So I'm excited to show you. Thanks.